Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. The waters of life can certainly be choppy, but our next guest believes you can learn to ride the waves with tips from her new book, Upset is Optional, Say Goodbye to Unnecessary Suffering. We welcome Karen Howard. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's so nice to be here. Thank you.
So you are somebody who definitely understands high stress and high stakes situations with your work in DC for so many years.
This is true. I've been here over 40 years.
So you've seen some tough things and you've come out on the other side with some wisdom that you can share with us all now.
I hope so. I mean, I think we've all lived through a lot in the last many years. And even just going back with 9/11 and experiencing that anniversary recently. So I think there's a lot on our plate.
That's true. It's a good reminder of things that have happened and progress forward as well. So tell me more about this idea of upset is optional, where we can't necessarily control the world around us, but we do have control over some of our responses.
We do. I mean, the world is always going to have suffering. There is no doubt about that. We will, and we work hard to eliminate suffering as best we can. And we can also get upset really easily. And this is something that we actually have control over. And it was a great set of lessons for me to learn. So I took 10 practices that I was taught by my mentor and combined them into a book with stories about how I've used them in my life and the difference that it's made and the changes that have happened, job differences. And so it's really a very effective way to use language and how you feel in your body to actually change the outcome of what's happening in your life.
Yeah, you have some great concrete exercises that we can all practice in our own lives. Can you tell me more about the idea of making a word wall? What does that mean?
So I think we're pretty familiar with the fact that foods that you can consume are inflammatory, and we've learned to stay away from those because inflammation is bad for your body. Well, guess what? Words can be equally as inflammatory. And I think, you get in an argument with a member of the family or a colleague and you feel your body tense up and you feel your stomach start to tighten, people get ulcers. That's inflammation. So the concept is create a wall of words that are the opposite of the things that you're mostly thinking, not so much saying these days, and substitute those words so that you are lessening the inflammation in your body, the anxiety, the upset, and you won't make yourself sick by worrying or stewing or fretting or just being angry about the situation at hand.
Yeah, and speaking of kind of turning things around, tell me about the idea of reframing some negative emotions. That can be really tough for a lot of people.
It's really tough because I think, we're all in a mindset. So it's like, how can I sit and watch the TV, listen to the radio and go, that's interesting, instead of whatever it is that's come to mind. So it's like, can you switch it up, take it down a notch, actively re-engage your brain so that you're not spewing the language that is making you so upset? And so it's like, I'm going to change the way I watch television. I'm going to reframe this. I may watch cartoons for an hour, but reframe what's happening so you can get out of that little rabbit wheel that you're running in.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Well, and what about something as simple as setting a daily intention? Can that set you up for success in dealing with challenges throughout the day?
I think we all know this has been a roller coaster when it comes to all this political conversation, that things change on a daily basis. So the one thing you can consistently do for yourself is design a mood before your feet hit the floor or while you're walking the dog. Like, I like to wake up and go, I'm peaceful. And I wear like a rubber band. If I start to get upset, I'll flick it. Or you can put a Post-it note on your steering wheel while you're driving. You can put something on your mirror every morning that goes peaceful, or design your day the way you want it to be and bring yourself back to that over and over. And eventually you're going to find yourself being able to reframe and go, that's interesting, instead of using those words that keep running through your head and making your body ill.
Yeah, sometimes the simplest ideas can be so helpful. We just have to be reminded every once in a while to go back to those things. Well, and tell me more about this idea of serving the 7 generations. What does that mean?
When you are feeling like there is no point in this anymore and that we are at the end of our ropes, I mean, what are we here for? We've lived almost 250 years with, pretty good success rate and horrible things that have happened. So when you think about why I'm here, I'm like, when I do my work for the Organic and Natural Health Association, I'm serving the 3 generations that came before me and I'm working toward the benefit of the 3 generations that I may never know. So all the gifts that have been given to me and all the gifts that I can give are why I show up every day.
That's
And
a
that's
really
why I do this.
beautiful way to frame it. Well, and talking about kind of this challenging and very charged political season, do you have any advice for us for dealing with, interacting with, even loved ones who may not share our political ideas? It can be really tough to have those conversations.
It can be extremely tough. And so remember a couple of things. One, like I said, we've been at this for a long time. And so if you can listen without reacting, this is going to be really good. Reactions are often just instinctual and not thoughtful. So be an observer. Just stand back, let the person say what they want to say, and let it go. And know that it's not yours. It's not yours to own. You don't want to carry it into your body. We really underestimate how much emotions can make us feel crappy. So just know that that person's going to be there the day after the election, and that you love that human being and that colleague, and that this too shall pass, as my dad would say.
There you go. Hey, thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
It was a pleasure.
The book again is Upset is Optional, and we'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.